It's time for a fair use rant, because I just won my copyright strike, and I employed some of the same techniques that a lot of people don't even understand. When they make these videos on giving people tips on how to do their reaction videos mostly, and what they do is they give them all sorts of instructions on how to hide the video, how to change the audio, things like pause every once in a while, other things like sometimes they shrink the video because they're using a video usually. Sometimes it's not just the audio with happens to have like a still or something, but actually moving pictures of the group or something, and they're telling them to zoom in on it so it only shows this, or it's like very translucent. They don't seem to understand all those things are indications of a crime in progress, that actually the what you're doing is you're consciously plagiarizing. Now, what I did was years ago, I would just do a cover version or something. And then it eventually got flagged. I noticed it was the Eagles, and was Lion Eyes, and they don't want that covered at all. So I got the impression, and during 2020, no, you can't do that. It's not allowed. You can't. I mean, you have to purchase a license. I didn't have the money, so I stopped doing it. I recorded many. I mean, not recorded, but I did some fantastic live performances during the spring, summer, and fall of 2020. And I definitely got the feedback from people around me. It was COVID, so a lot of people were either out of work or they were working at home. And a lot of people walking around trying to figure out what the hell's going on in life. And they noticed it. It's, it's subjective. Musical taste is subjective. Not everyone liked me, but many people did. So I never recorded any of that. None of that is documented. But then I got the idea, because I see other people doing it, that things have changed. So I started doing the same thing. And I was under the impression that it was some sort of agreement that YouTube had with the publishers, that we could upload cover versions and they would share the revenue, which has happened before. Stairway to Heaven, whoever's the publisher of that, years ago, this is 2018 maybe, they shared the revenue. That's what they said on my video. So, I erased all my videos after that, I think. But this latest round, they attacked me. So I did a, rich old beagles just seem to get real crabby, or whatever. That's obviously a parody. It does not sound like Lion Eyes. My Lion Eyes version was much different. Watch them flag this one. If I say, city girls just seem to find out. Ooh, I did enough. Probably too much. But the thing is, they flagged that, despite the fact that I was specifically making fun and using like references to other people who've made fun like 50 years ago. And And recently, Phil from Wings of Pegasus pointed out that the Eagles' new songs all use auto-tune. They remix like all the music, and they won't allow the old ones out, the live ones. They use an auto-tune to correct the vocals live. So they're living up to what Graham Parsons said, plastic dry. So, you know, I don't know what to do. I can't afford to like pay licenses for like hundreds and hundreds of songs. But let's talk about the people who don't pay shit. And they get to monetize their videos. And I'm talking about these reaction channels. And all they do is they play the song. And they're like... And usually the still on some of them are just like this. They have these ridiculous stills for the lead-in video. And they believe because they pause things every once in a while and they might make jokes that it's some sort of like critical review, when most of the time I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. I would comment on a lot of them because I just get them in my feed, and I hear them talking like, some of them like have like backgrounds that have some sort of education, and they don't seem to know too much about music. Like they think it's live or something, and especially with like the Beatles or something in the later years with all the studio trickery, and they don't seem to know any of that, or the way Pink Floyd sounds, like David Gilmour's guitar. I mean, you could sit there and listen to David Gilmour's guitar or whatever, and you think, oh, Pink Floyd or whatever, and then you could put on a song by Paul McCartney, No More Lonely Nights, and you hear the guitar solo, and you're like, that's Dave Gilmour. I hear that. I think it's the Benson delay box thing, tape thing, or whatever. And they re-released it. It's got like a spinning thing. I would love to have one personally, not because I want to be David Gilmour, but that's right up my alley. Especially if I get this going again. This is a nice amplifier. But so they sit there and play these songs, and they get to these reaction channels, and they get to monetize. I think that's unfair, because that is not fair use. Why did they pick those songs? Why didn't they pick something obscure? There's plenty. I play probably lots of obscure music. Not so much as before. I don't see too many reaction videos reacting to like folk songs, but I used to do folk songs all the time. I'm thinking of like Incredible String Band, and I don't do all this stuff. It's more like paint and box, and I will do that, but they don't react to that, even though they could. But that's not hip. You know what they do? They go and they search, what is the most reacted songs? Who's getting the hits? Then they select those songs. They all copy each other too. One person reacts to, I don't know, it might be, I remember for the longest time it was like Journey, Steve Perry, vocal coaches, other people trying, okay, yeah, they imparted a little more education and stuff like that, but what was the, why did they select those songs? Because they have 200 million views? Is that it? Is that it? Because you fail right there. Right there. I would say playing out-of-tune guitars, broken guitars, I'm finding it's a little bit better. this needs a new, like a diaper change here, but the aluminum foil over the fret, the dented frets, is has been somewhat successful so far. It's not that good, and I get Art Intonation and cover versions. That's transformative, isn't it? It's life. It's improvised. It's live. Isn't that transformative? But playing a video is. You're playing the video. Some are playing the entire song through. What is that called? That used to be called piracy. I am not playing the recorded songs. No one thinks I'm replacing the group. No one likes me. I have, 81 followers. I swear all of them are lawyers. And, I don't get any monetization. They've reduced it. I can't even make grade. I have other channels that they have some of the criteria, but not all. And that's how do these people get monetized? They didn't go out and say, I'm going to do a reaction to You and Me and a Dog Named Boo. That's from the same era of a lot of the music they're playing. I don't think someone should sit there and put too much glory on all these artists. I don't care if it's Pink Floyd, the Beatles, or whatever. The main reason they're going after it, like I said, is the views. They already have views, and that's how they get the plays up. I don't have that many hours of plays. Am I doing the same thing as them, picking songs? Yes and no. Because if I was trying to really manipulate the system, I'd be trying to do cover versions of the songs that are current right now that are popular. I could be doing try that in a small town or something like that. I'll put my cowboy hat on and there I am. I'm all set to go. If I was trying to do that, I'm playing the songs that I want to play. If I'm recording outside, I don't have too much printer ink left, so I conserve that. So I don't print out new songs. So I'm playing a lot of the same songs over and over. But I'm just looking at the screen behind this, and I play all different songs really, but I think it's extremely unfair that there's not a system in place. Like some people have suggested, if it was more like a reasonable thing, a license thing, but because we're not a bar. I can't sell alcohol to anybody. Bars make tons of money just selling cheap alcohol, whether it be Bud Light, Miller Lite. They sell tons of that shit, and it's watered down. And they clean up. How much money do you think they get out of a bottle of Jack Daniels? Jack Daniels, what else? Like $30, $35 for a whole bottle. But they're getting a couple $100 out of that. And they get even more out of the more expensive shit. They're actually generating tons of revenue. I don't have that same effect. There's no one addicted to giving people money. If you talk about Patreon, or buy me a coffee or beer, I have not got not one donation. Not one at all, despite the fact that, since I've been doing cover versions on YouTube or whatever, it's been many years, but, just since the last time this guitar's been in the shop, literally, I've destroyed this guitar. It needs at least it's not that bad, but it's at least 5 of the frets need to be replaced. That's still costly. And no one paid me for that. So, these other people, that they take advantage of playing the actual recorded version that cost a small fortune to record those songs, based on the errors and how much it cost from those errors. So, they take advantage of that. They play entire videos. They pause them every once in a while. Now, why don't I just do that or whatever? But what am I going to react to? I'm going to pretend? I can't bullshit all the time. I can't bullshit like these people acting like they never heard some of these songs before. Even though they sometimes, like, slip it up. Maybe I did hear that in a movie or something. Yes, some of these songs are getting extremely old and no one cares about any of these groups we play. Maybe the groups themselves, a lot of them are just dying off. All the music that I listen to, predominantly, those people are in their 70s and 80s right now. They should consider that. That the fact that someone 20 years younger is still playing their music, they should probably appreciate that instead of acting like, greedy little Fs. Because, just because they can't get their $17 or whatever, if I, released it on iTunes, if I did a cover version, it's $17. That's what we're talking about. I don't know about videos, YouTube, and having a license, because these publishers are greedy. They think a video is worth more, but still, you can argue that against the reaction videos. They're hiding the videos. They're watching the video. They're displaying the videos. They're there. Sometimes they're just right there. And that's okay. That's educational. Oh, that's transformative. Oh, yeah. I don't think it would stand up in court if they went after him. And a lot of the reason they get away is what they do is they do a counter notice, and the publishers really have no interest in suing them, so they don't do anything. So this empowers the reaction people to keep on going. And let's not forget what I've said before. The main reason that they went after me and didn't try to negotiate anything with me is because I don't have any viewers. I'm not helping them. That's how they look at it. They see these other people, they think they're like, they think it's some sort of justice, or that they've really done something really well, and that they got like UMG or whomever to withdraw their copyright claims. But they have these huge channels. There are people. I could make. There's a guy who makes those videos where they're ridiculous videos talking about rock music or whatever, and like, this group almost didn't make it, but in the last second they released this song, and he plays like little clips and stuff like that, and he doesn't seem to get in trouble. He's got monetization. Maybe it's their monetization. I doubt it. He's interviewing all these like rock stars. Same thing with these other ones like Rick Beato. He gets away with he says he doesn't get the monetization, but obviously he did those things for a reason. Yes, it's from his era. He's the same thing I do, whatever, in some ways. He likes that music and blah, blah, blah. But it's not like he doesn't benefit by it, by selecting those songs or whatever. Every once in a while he'll do something weird, but he mostly selects certain types of songs. And a lot of these songs have huge views. Sometimes he has videos he talks about the views on Spotify. Who has the most plays? I mean, he's trying to cash in on what people are looking at. I mostly just do what I want to do. But then again, who am I really hurting? Am I really, really hurting the publishers? How about that fire they had Did that really hurt the music more than I have ever hurt them? But YouTube and the publishers, probably shouldn't be so prejudicial against people doing cover versions. I don't know if they've taken people to court unless they think they can get money from them, but I've read the laws and the 4 criteria, and I've read things from lawyers, and I am not a lawyer, but it's just not adding up. Their reactions are not really transformative. They're just a fan listening to music, and they're playing the whole song. They're pirating it, and most of them are just reacting in the background, maybe pausing every once in a while. But I don't think they probably make that much money. I mean, really, I've been monetized before, and it's not that much money, but obviously doing it, they get a little money. But my channel and many other people of my channel size don't get anything. I think that is unfair, grossly unfair. We are doing way more. There's way more effort in what we're doing compared to someone just sitting in front of a screen making faces. I mean, we wear our guitars out. We wear our voices out. We do more than just talk. And like I said, I think it could be argued as transformative. I mean, I get advice from people, make sure you play the song exactly like the recording. It's like, I don't want to play like the recording. I play whatever way I want. To me, that is transformative right there. I change the lyrics around all the time. Every song I sing, basically, I'm always like, half the time it's because of what is being said. Like, hello, yeah, it's been a while, not much, how about you? And then he goes on, and then, and I'd really like to bang you tonight. Because that's what he's basically saying. Love hurts. Love squirts. Is that a parody? Why is Weird Al allowed? He's not a parody artist. He is just a derivative artist. That is it. His videos, music videos he makes are parodies, but not the music. And really, that's like a derivative too, is when you really think about it, because the music videos are based on usually the artist video. Yes, it's on the fence right there, but the music, total derivative. There's no parody at all. You have to change things drastically. He doesn't do that. So I don't know even what to do with my channel. I just kill it because it's no fun anymore to try to work towards a goal to get views. I have all broken instruments. They don't last. Fall apart. It's limited. And there's no growth, and there's no payback. There's no sharing. They put ads on some of my videos, and half the time people comment and they're talking about the original artist. They don't mention me too much. And if they do, it's only like 5 people. And like I said, all the other people who subscribe are probably lawyers, waiting for my channel to grow. But I do think it's unfair, and YouTube, Google, They make tons of money. And like I've said a million times, they're the one who should be paying for the license for people to do cover versions. I mean, I would really like to see the statistics of how many people have downloaded my music and put it on their whatever, their iPhone or iPad. I think it's going to be like somewhere hovering around 0. No one's bootlegging the cover versions I'm doing. They bootlegged other things. Yeah, that's the thing. YouTube for years, I did like a parody of a Beatles song, Carnival of Light, years ago, and I was the third one to do it in 2008. And my music got pirated on Pirate Bay. Good luck they tell you to go F off if you ask them to remove music. There's no DMCA on there. On YouTube, yes. But all over, it was hard to control. It was impossible to control. I had to do 25 cover versions of a song I never heard before people finally said, like, oh, wow, that isn't the Beatles. So, it's, but YouTube made money off of that. Pirate Bay made money off of that. I made no money off of that. So, I mean, where's mine? Even mp3.com, if everyone remembers that. I was so excited. Oh, I put up my music, and I thought, oh, this is great. Pay per play. The whole place was being gamed, and it was just full of these makeup ads, which I don't know what that had to do with music or whatever, but it was just other people uploading music, listening to other people's music to see what they were doing. There were no fans on there. Then the major label artists came on there. I wrote songs about them. Madonna, David Bowie, all these crappy major label corporate rock artists came on there. And they ruined the whole site. And then the record industry took over the site and destroyed it. Destroyed my revenue. I was making some money on there, but that was taken away by the record companies. I wasn't doing cover versions. I was recording my own songs every day, and that was taken away by me. This is all greed. Record companies are greedy. They're run by the mob and the intelligence agencies. Anyone who doesn't believe that is living with their head in the sand. But I believe the system has to be changed to make it more fair. Especially with the fact that people don't buy music anymore. They don't download music. So it's got to be based on something. I mean, all these old artists, they cry about the old days. They want the old days back. Well, you ruined it with your excess. You ruined it with your payola. And now no one wants it. And you didn't embrace the newer technologies that were coming along. And no one wants to pay for music. So there's got to be another solution. And why wouldn't you want because you think that publishing is so important, but is publishing really that important? Do you even need a publisher? Oh, you sold all your rights and you sold your soul. I mean, that's why you need a publisher. But I think some new laws have to be created, and I think the publishers are too greedy, and they need to be reined in, and they need to share. You know, we're supposed to be able to be allowed to do cover versions, but then again, how do we do it? We can't. How do we create, sell music? No one's going to buy music on iTunes and crap like that, and even major label artists, so kids of major label artists, they can't get they'll get 1 million plays and get like $10. That's bullshit. But on YouTube, I guarantee they get more than $10 for 1,000,000 plays on a monetized video. And you never know when a video might get monetized. I mean, they could put some rules in place where you have to put links to the original video or something like that, or the original song that's available for sale or something. But yeah, I don't see anything being proposed. It's all greed. Don Henley, greed, all of them. All these people are greedy because, for one thing, they've dried up, they're older, they don't have any vitality anymore. They're not, and they can't do all the cocaine they used to do. So they can't do the output anymore. They can't come up with stuff that's fresh and interesting. So they're clinging to whatever they used to have, and that is part of the problem. And we're being locked out. There's no opportunities for anyone. So something's got to change, but it's unfair that these reaction videos are allowed and we're not allowed to do cover versions. I think it's BS.